Deck builders are pretty hot right now, so why not include them in your game? Echo Generation 2 is a game that builds on its predecessor by doing just that. It still sports the same gorgeous 3D voxel art style, but the combat feels a lot better due to the card-based nature. I got hands-on with the demo, which gives approximately 1.5 hours to experience the game, so I'll break down everything I played and how I feel about it. If you want to support the channel, then please leave a like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you don't like it, then leave a thumbs down and let me know how I can be better for you. With the housekeeping out of the way, let's get into it. Echo Generation 2 is a sci-fi turn-based deck building RPG. The demo takes place in a secret lab in the 1980s where we play a supernatural child, Sister M. She tries to break free and find her friends who are fellow experimentees as they have gone missing. Think Stranger Things if it was sci-fi. We fight through various soldiers and one big ass mech as we try to get to our goal. The combat consists of a deck that can be built of up to 12 cards. This could possibly be extended further in the game through unlocks and upgrades, but 12 is what I had available to me in the demo. I discovered far more than 12 types of cards though, and you can of course have duplicates, so there was a lot to play around with. The combat can get quite deep with shield points, color symbol stance breaks, and status effects all coming into play. The shield points work as a defensive layer of safety points before hitting the HP and can be used by yourself as well as by enemies. There are cards that ignore shield to do damage direct to HP, and also cards that give you shield points as well as doing damage, so there are several viable build options. Larger opponents and bosses had a stance bar. This bar is made up of colored symbols that you can see displayed above the health bar. If you can break the stance, then you will deal increased damage for the rest of the fight. The way to break it is to play cards with matching colored symbols. Each card has an assigned symbol displayed on the face art so you can see before it's played. Status effects are secondary effects inflicted by some cards. To use some examples, there was a burn that could stack and deal additional damage each turn, stun which would stop the inflicted from acting next turn, regeneration which also stacked and would heal each turn, and fury which would increase the damage output of your next attack. This really is just a taste though, and there are several more status effects, some more useful than others, to really spice up the combat. Defensively, there is a block that is a timing based button input which is similar to a parry in turn-based games, but it doesn't fully negate the damage, it only lowers it. I for one always appreciate that little bit of added interactivity when the combat is turn-based. They do have several badges to find and equip to give bonuses and buffs in battle, but I only managed to find one during my playtime. To give you an example of the kind of effects they have, this badge granted me 10% increased damage every time a card with a yellow symbol was played. There were rows and rows of empty spaces and you can equip up to 3 badges at any time, so I'm looking forward to seeing what other ones I can find in the full release. As I mentioned, we are playing as Sister M in this demo, but when you tab through the menus you can see that your party can be up to 3 members. Because of this, I'm sure it will turn into your classic RPG adventure. The story setup is good so far. I hope the relationships between the characters is strong too. I also would be interested to see how the card types change between different party members. Some of the cards used by Sister M did seem extremely specific to her powers as well as some personal items, so I'm confident the other guys will have unique decks that we can build too. After each successful encounter you earn XP and money. The money I could only use in one vending machine I found near the end of the demo, which had more cards I could buy. I do wonder if there will be more things to buy like usable items in combat, but I didn't see any. XP is used to level up, and when you do, you get skill points. These points can be assigned to a character's skill tree, which really enhance the combat. The first thing I unlocked for Sister M was an increase to cards played per turn. This meant I could play 2 cards before my turn was up, which dramatically changes the combat experience from the starting position of 1 card. Other options were things like increases to health, damage, and status effect magnitude. The reason why I love this skill tree so much is because I could feel its effects instantly. I felt rewarded and more powerful as soon as I assigned the skill point. What's great about it is that it looks like each party member will have their own skill tree, so I can only imagine how awesome it feels to start getting into the weeds of building out my party composition. All in all, I thought the combat posed a pretty good challenge, especially with the mini boss halfway through and the final boss which served as the demo's climax. I found the cards to be intuitive and didn't take too long to understand what they did. I have had problems with some deck builders before where there are so many iterations and effects caused by the cards that you're just staring at a block of text trying to figure out what they do. That isn't the case here with Echo Generation 2. I really enjoyed my time engaging with the deck building combat, and I would say it's definitely rubbing shoulders with the giants of the genre. It's super fun. To bounce off this and sing more praises, I have have to talk about the visuals. They are incredible. A voxel art style is not one I would say is for everyone, but man do I think it looks good here. The character models and environments are quality, especially with the lighting, which was noticeably impressive, but where this art style really shines is with the attack animations. Each card has its own unique animation and sometimes even summons another entity to do the move for you. Every single time this happened, I was in awe. I loved how it looked on the screen. The 3D pixels would almost bubble up as it emerged from the card, and it was kind of captivating in a way. I feel like it will be a gift that keeps on giving as you discover more cards and therefore more animations. Another moment that stood out for me was against the mini-boss. This guy was effectively a mech suit that was just overflowing with energy, so much so that the electrifying blue power was spewing out of its back, giving this really cool effect that was complemented exponentially by this art style. One thing I do want to see more of though is exploring the color palette. This demo was a lot of greys and darker colors, but that was entirely down to the setting. We got a glimpse of a colorful pop towards the end, and I want to see more of that in action. The ending boss fight really goes places both visually and narratively, and it was a great conclusion to this demo to make you desperate for more. We don't know much about Sister M and her friends who are clearly being experimented on at this facility. It is also unclear as to why Sister M has been the only one that was left behind. You do start to get more nuggets of information as you fight your way to the top, where the control room is located. Inside is the commander who runs the whole operation and serves as the ending boss fight. They are surrounded by what I think are either time portals or dimension portals. The commander seems to imply that the supernatural kids were powering these portals, or maybe just investigating them. On top of this, in the facility itself there seems to be some kind of virus outbreak which leads to some weird mutated creatures slouching about. This game does seem to be leaning into the horror angle from the trailers with some real grotesque looking monsters. I imagine this horror angle sparks from this virus outbreak. If that's not enough world building, then strap in because there's even more. When the boss fight concludes, there is a cutscene which shows some alien figures laughing at mankind's success on discovering the portals. They converse about invading the planet and using this technology for personal gain. So in summary, Echo Generation 2 seems to have time travel and or dimension jumping, infected mutated creatures, and an antagonistic all-powerful alien species. I don't know about you, but to me, that sounds awesome. It's worth noting that all of this was told through dialogue, but there is no voice acting in this game. This is not unexpected for indie games, but just so that you are informed, there will be reading if you want to invest yourself in the story. In all the promo content on this game, it has been explained that we'll be playing as an ordinary dad Jack, who I believe to be the missing dad from the first title. Obviously, that is not the case with this demo, so I wonder how Sister M and her friends fit into the party if Jack is the main protagonist. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Developers Cococucumber wanted to blend cosmic horror and 1980s sci-fi with a deck building RPG. From what I've played so far, I can say that they not only succeeded, but have crafted something that I cannot wait to play more of. The turn-based combat feels endlessly fresh with the large variety of cards I found in such a short playtime. The voxel graphics are eye-catching and the story juggles several elements I find myself strongly interested in. The gameplay is addicting with customizable builds and RPG skill trees which I can see myself investing a lot of time into. I'm excited to see how other characters fit into the story and how their decks differ from Sister M's. Echo Generation 2 has a lot going for it and is now undoubtedly on my wishlist for whenever it comes out later this year for Xbox, PC, and will be day one on Game Pass. Check out the channel for more quick looks, but also reviews, spoiler casts, game release calendars, and all things gaming. If you like the content, then please leave a like, subscribe, and share. If you didn't like it, then leave a thumbs down and I'll try to be better next time. Let me know in the comments below if you'll be picking up Echo Generation 2, and for everything else, casual gamer, keep it here. Peace and love.